So in this video, I'm going to show you how you get the 2020 M1 MacBook Air for real cheap here in 2025. So I think one of the best deals that people could get when looking for a used MacBook, their choice should be an M1 MacBook Air. Even in 2025, although this device was released in 2020. So it's an older device, but it's a good bang for your buck. So let's go over the specs and things that I like about it first of all, and then I'll show you how you can get one for real cheap. So the things I really like about the M1 MacBook Air is the nice crisp Retina display. It has a modern, slick feel, very thin. It has the Touch ID, which I really like. It's running the newest version of Mac OS in 2025. That is going to be Sequoia, and you're going to get several more years of updates. So you're not going to be left in the dust a few years from now. I do like that you get, USB-C charging. It doesn't have MagSafe, but USB-C is probably the fastest way to charge your MacBook anyways, and it's very flexible, so there's no issues there. The M1 chip offers a lot besides speed. It's a very speedy device, even compared to the M2, the M3. But since it's very snappy, especially for your everyday things, if you are mostly in Safari, iMessage, FaceTime, email, things like that, as long as you're not doing iMovie or content creation or photo editing, that's not going to slow you down. This is for everyday people, and that M1 chip, apart from being very powerful and fast, faster than Intel chips, it is what I think, in my best opinion, is the great battery life you get out of this device. If you could find a M1 MacBook Air with a 100% battery, you're gonna get around 18 hours of battery life. That is crazy. A big jump from the Intel Max before this model. You're gonna get great battery life, very fast processor, more updates in the future. It's running the same software as an expensive brand new M3 MacBook. You can get this with 8 gigabytes of RAM starting off, and that's more than enough for most people. And if you want really good productive stuff and you want to try to do some editing and some type of content creation, get the 16 gigabyte model. But I think for most people, 8 gigabytes is going to be more than enough for all your everyday needs. This is more of a very portable, let's just use a MacBook for everyday task type of device. So let's go into why you should get this used and you can get it real cheap. Let's go ahead and go through the steps. So there's going to be 4 retailers or 4 websites that you can get a really cheap used MacBook Air, and they're going to be Walmart, it's going to be Amazon, Swappa.com, and eBay. So if you want a brand new MacBook Air 2020 M1 and you don't want to deal with anything used or refurbished or anything, go and buy this at Walmart at $650. That is really nice. Apple doesn't sell this brand new. If you want a brand new device from Apple, it's going to cost you around $1,000 because they don't sell the 2020 M1 MacBook Air. So this is your next best bet, is going to Walmart for $650 if you want it brand new, and it has the perks of not being used, and you have the return policy of Walmart. Now we're getting into the renewed category, and that's where Amazon comes in. You can get this item shipped for around $439 for a renewed device. Usually when it has renewed from Amazon, that means it's almost in perfect condition. It feels like it's brand new. You're probably not going to get the box that it came in from Apple, but you're still going to get something that's pretty much pristine. Usually they have a brand new battery with it. It almost feels like brand new. It looks brand new. You have a 90-day return policy as well, return refund, and you get financing from Amazon as well. And at $439, you're already saving $220 if you get it used from, if you get it new from Walmart. So I think that's a really good price right there. So now we're going into the 2 websites where you really have to work and be careful on which MacBook to pick out. And next I'm going to go to Swappa. It's a it's a marketplace that exclusively deals with computers and electronics, and now they're adding even like sneakers and tools and streamers and stuff like that. But I like the website because it has free shipping. They like to verify the items that people are selling. They don't sell broken stuff. If there's any type of defects, the seller has to put it out there. And and it has a fairly simple way with a filter system, so it could kind of it makes the sellers put pictures of exactly what they're selling and what type of some type of specs minimum that is going to match up with their description. So, for example, the cheapest MacBook I could find on Swappa right now is actually $421. So comparing it to Amazon, today's search, for example, you're not getting such a good deal. A lot of these devices, the batteries are used. There might be some damage to these devices. The sellers usually take pictures of them and tell you the description. You could use PayPal as an option. That's good. You could finance it for like 6 months with PayPal. And most of the people that are selling these are either regular people just wanted to sell their tech and get some money out of it. But a lot of these are also like companies or small shops that fix that buy broken computers and fixes them and then make a profit. But if depending on the day, you might get a cheaper device. I've seen them before for $350. So that's cheaper than Amazon right there. And just a couple of things to look for. You make sure you get you could filter by storage, you could filter by RAM, and you could filter by, and this is a big one, you can filter by the processor, because the 2020 MacBook Air comes in the Intel model and the M1. And obviously I want the M1 model because it's just way better than Intel. I don't suggest anybody getting the Intel unless you're really concerned about price. So it's okay to get it at 8 gigabytes. The M1, you have to pick that. And storage, I'm not a big person on storage. It's not that important to me. I think 128 gigabytes is more than enough for most people. And the way that I use a MacBook, and I think most people do, they're not filling up their device with physical media, I'm talking about like offloading everything to your computer, downloading lots of stuff. I think everything's being streamed. You're going on Safari, so I think 120 gigs of storage is enough, and 8 gigabytes of RAM is good for most people. Like I said, browsing the web, Safari, iMessage, have a couple of spreadsheets on there, nothing too intensive. So I think you're good with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So a couple of things, off the bat, just make sure that you have all those filters set and look at the pictures, look at the description, and you can even ask questions to the seller if you want more specific stuff. And the last option that I give people is eBay. But that one has a lot of work to do when you want to search for something, because you really have to do a lot of work to filter all the stuff out and to get the right MacBook. A lot of them, they sell damaged. A lot of them are for parts. Some of them aren't even M1s. Some of them aren't even MacBooks. They're not the right year. They're not the right model. People don't show you pictures. People don't show you damage. You have to read the description, be very careful. You could message the seller to see if you want more details on the item. I start off with, I want free shipping. I sort through cheapest, to show me the cheapest ones first, including shipping, free shipping. I do check the return policy. I make sure that it's in the US for me or whatever country you're in. And then you have other things. They have conditions like new, used, refurbished, whatever. And also they have models, processors. You start having more filters on there. The more you use, the more specific your searches are going to become. But sometimes you want to just kind of read out the whole thing. They usually have all the descriptions in the first search field when they describe the item. So, but it's a lot of work, and then the prices aren't that good. If you're lucky, you'll get one under $400. But that's why I recommend using eBay as the fourth option to look for a used MacBook M1 2020. So with those four places to look for a M1 MacBook Air 2020, one of the biggest things that I think you should consider when buying your MacBook, you're not going to have this issue really with Walmart or Amazon. This is mostly for Swappa and eBay. Check, please check, double check, triple check to see the damage and also the condition of the battery, because this MacBook is a few years old already. Although it has 18 hours of battery life when it was released, all these devices are pretty old now. So if you're getting it used, you don't want a used up battery. So supposedly these check for battery cycles and battery health. Everybody that sells a MacBook should be able to post pictures of these. It's a very important detail of a laptop. And I think you should not get anything less than 90% of battery health. Cycles is not too much of an important thing, unless that's all the details you could get from a seller is the cycles. And I'd say anything below 400 is average for a 5-year-old device. But the battery health is going to tell you, for me, that's more important. I want 90% battery health or above. And if you can get any type of battery cycles under 100, that's good as well. But most people, what I notice is that they don't put the battery health. Some people are getting wise to it and they're starting to put it out there, because that, if I could see a MacBook has good battery life and no damage, that's usually a good buy right there. But that's with you don't have to worry about that with Amazon or Walmart, because they're new and refurbished and they don't have any damage, and you can return them with no problem. On eBay and Swappa, it might become an issue, so be careful right there. So in general, we're going to pretty much two price points on a MacBook 2020 M1 MacBook Air. Brand new from Walmart for $650, Amazon renewed at $439, or around $400 if you get it on Swappa or eBay. Oh, and one more thing. When you get them used on Swappa or eBay, make sure and double check to see if they come with a USB-C charger as well. That should be included no matter what. The cable and the brick as well. So there you have it, guys. You can get a really good M1 MacBook Air for probably half the price of an M3 MacBook. These perform just as well. They just don't have that notch and the thinner bezel. That's about it. This computer does everything that you need it to do. Do not buy a brand new MacBook. The M1 is a really, really good device.